What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, a little while ago, we actually had SPS flip Vouchers, but it seems like Vouchers have retaken the lead, and while SPS has dipped along with DEC, we're seeing Vouchers actually at 3.8 cents. I mean, it's a little bit lower now, but it did cross 3.8 cents a little bit earlier before I hit refresh. So I wanted to take an outlook for Vouchers in 2024. I talked about this on a recent live stream. I was being a little bit bearish in there, but I actually wanted to run some numbers and share them with you. And so this is not going to be a bearish take on Vouchers. I'm just trying to be very realistic and get an idea of where we will be in roughly 1 year from now, right? Or end of December 2024. So you can see that as it stands, we have roughly 11.8 million vouchers currently circulating. And over the course of a year, if you multiply, what is it, 40,000 vouchers printed every day times 365. Well, I guess there's 366, but it gets you roughly like 14.6 million vouchers printed. So that's what we can expect by the end of the year. So in total, and let's see if I can zoom this in, and I apologize, it's not in dark mode, but let's start here. So 11.8 plus 14.6 gives us about 26.4 million vouchers that we would need to eat through by the end of this year. So is there going to be enough voucher scarcity? Well, let's go ahead and see, right? Now, looking at several different factors here. We have Rebellion, right? Rebellion packs. Let's assume that Matt's very, very low estimate number of 1.5 million packs being sold by the end of the run ends up coming true. We've already sold 600,000, so another 900,000, and this would include bonus packs too, right? Because those will still require 5 vouchers a piece. So let's say we get another 900,000. Well, 900,000 times 5 vouchers a pack puts us at 4.5 million. Again, that's Rebellion on the conservative estimate that Matt has for the entirety of the set, right? Which is going to burn out by the end of by the end of December or mid-December next year. Oh my gosh, we're in 2024. By the end of December this year. All right. Now, wagons, this is an interesting one. Because it's really hard to determine where wagons will be and how much they are going to burn. Now, I did check, and we can actually go here so you can see me check my work. I did check the printing and distribution for Rebellion cards, and you can see that in total, we have, so this is regular circulating cards, we have 450,000. We actually have another 45,000 for gold foils as well, so my numbers might even be a little bit off, but I'm okay with just estimating at 450,000 right now because maybe not everything gets onto a pack or onto a wagon, and also this 450,000 cards divided by 5, right? So 5 cards are able to be put on a wagon at a time times the 50 vouchers that is intended for the price of each wagon. That's going to be another 4.5 million. But again, there's a lot of assumptions going on in there. That's assuming that we're super efficient, that, there's always going to be 5 cards on every single wagon, and that, even across the board, people who own only a couple of Rebellion cards. So for example, myself, I own 4 Rebellion cards, right? So at this point in time, if I only own 4 Rebellion cards, then my wagon isn't going to be fully efficient. So maybe some don't make it on there, maybe some do. All I'm saying is if we estimate it at this in this way, right? So 450,000 cards is actually 500,000 cards, including gold foil, and 50 vouchers per wagon. That's actually another 4.5 million. It could actually burn a significant amount if people decide to jump in on these wagons. But again, that's just the estimate there. I'm not too worried about the circulating packs, simply because it's like 100 packs per wagon. So really, the cards are going to be the limiting factor there. Now, the gold foil roll, this is going to be something interesting as well. Now, whenever there's an airdrop, and there's going to be 9 of them, you will have the option to actually pay 20 vouchers. I think it's not finalized, but I think it's going to be 20 vouchers in order to increase the chances of it being a gold foil legendary. So let's just take a look here, and you can see that the amount of BCX printed for legendary cards right now is about 3,000, right? A little bit under 3,000. I did actually a higher estimate, and I was saying, okay, well, by the end of the first conflict, maybe there's more packs open. Maybe Matt's looking around and saying like, okay, we need, 5, maybe there'll be 5K, right? Either way, what I'm trying to get at here is people could potentially roll. There's going to be 9 of these airdrops, and if there's 5,000 in each, and actually it'll be descending, so it's probably going to be significantly less than this. But at 20 vouchers, it could burn maybe roughly 1 million vouchers. Again, it could be anywhere from like probably 600,000 to a million, but I'm rounding up here to keep it nice and easy, right? So now that's a clean 10 million. So from the 26.4 that we're going to have between now and the end of the year, we have 10 million that we can kind of account for. Now there's also the mini set. We don't know any information about that. We don't know when it's going to come out, but if we assume that it will come out at some point later this year, similar to how Rift Watchers came out in September of 2022, then I will say I can see 1 million packs selling. I think that would be in line with where Rift Watchers was. We saw the appetite actually at like 1.1 million for Rift Watchers. So if we get something similar where it's 5 vouchers a pack, that could actually burn another 5 million. So where are we sitting at? Again, rough numbers here, at about 15 million out of the 26.4. So that leaves us with about 11.5 million overall. Now, I left these 3 at the bottom just because I don't know how to really calculate them. With promo cards, they want to do these quarterly, and if they end up being something like a Lux Vega, where they sell them for 1 million DEC, but you can get half off with vouchers valued at 20 cents a pop, right, or 200 DEC a pop. That could actually work out to be another 5 million vouchers, right? Because if it's 1,000 cards, if there's 4 of these cards, and then you're doing up to like, was it? I don't know. I forgot what the math is, but up to half off using vouchers every single time. That could be another 5 million. But again, I don't feel as good about that number. The Soulbound unlock could be interesting as well. I really don't know how to determine how people will feel about that once that actually happens for land, and then for overall once they're actually unlockable in game. And then land, of course. If land does have any kind of way in which you could use or utilize vouchers. Now, with the white paper for land, for the 2.0 kind of draft paper that we've seen, I didn't really see anything on there for vouchers. So my expectation is we're probably not going to see much. I think it's going to be mainly a DEC sync. But when we do get information on buildings and maintenance, I think there's a lot of folks who are feeling rather bullish on vouchers being included there in some way, shape, or form. And actually, I would love to see that personally, right? Even though I would love to see most of that utility going to DEC. At the end of the day, if they, offer some way for vouchers to be involved or included, that wouldn't be terrible either. So, I'm looking here and I'm thinking to myself, all right, which one of these, none of these are necessarily a lock, right? I think the highest level of confidence that I have would be the 900,000 the 4.5 million for Rebellion packs. And keep in mind, right, that could actually be significantly higher. I mean, if we maybe double this, right? So instead of we're at 600,000 packs now, let's say we actually sell close to like 2.5 million, or we'll just say 2.4 to keep it easy, right? This goes from 4.5 million up to 9 million, right? And so all of a sudden we're starting to eat into that extra supply. And again, that's all going to be done by the end of next year. The mini set, for example, right? We may not sell 1 million packs right off the bat. We saw how long it took for Rift Watchers to sell out. But again, I'm just putting 5 million there by the end of the year. The gold foil rolls, again, this is actually probably going to end up being a smaller number overall, but we'll see the participation. And the wagons, I don't know. I don't know how much people are going to be going heavy into wagons. But keep in mind, the numbers that I'm working with now are for the cards that are out and available now. That number of cards will only increase, right? The circulating supply of cards will only increase over time as people buy more cards. And sure, it could go down temporarily if people decide to, buy a bunch of BCX and level them up. But, the 4.5 million here is probably highballing it. I'll admit that. So I'm not being as conservative as I usually am in a lot of my estimates. And then the promo cards, there may not even be promo cards, right? They wanted to do that last year. They didn't really get around to it. Zerial was the last one that they really had, and that did not go as well as I think they were hoping it would. And again, it's not going to be the best kind of estimate. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is if there is any kind of push for Rebellion packs at the end of the day, or more specifically, these mini set packs that end up coming in, at some point, maybe in the second half of the year, those would be the biggest potential guaranteed drivers, in my opinion. People like cards. They like having cards. The wagons, we'll see how the conflicts end up going. I was surprised at how high, the estimate ended up being, 4.5 million or 4.5 million. But that could really cut into it too. And we do have a finite number of vouchers that will be available if we're just looking at the time frame through the end of 2024, right? This 26.4 million. So, I don't know how Matt is thinking about this or the rest of the team is thinking about the economy play here, but I would love to see more utility, more potential kind of like sinks for vouchers than there are going to be available, right? And we technically already have that with Rebellion packs. I mean, simply put, like if we sold 5 million Rebellion packs, that's 25 million vouchers. But at this point in time, I don't think we're actually going to push that far. So we'll see how things play out with the Soulbound unlock and land and all that. But it does make for an exciting kind of prospect of vouchers potentially getting back to the soft peg. Again, it's not a hard peg, but a soft peg of 20 cents or 200 DEC per voucher, which is, it's not perfect, but it's definitely higher than where we're at right now, right? It's like 6x from here or 5x from here. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Just wanted to break it down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you think my numbers are too high, too low, if there's something I included or should have included. But otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.